We're here today with you at the Thousand Trails in San Benito at Paicines, California, and we can't wait to show you around.
Welcome back, EdelKampers. I'm Fred.
And I'm Mary. We explore, experience, and educate.
Because it's never too late to believe in yourself.
Ain't that the truth? We have reached the bottom of the hill where the ranger station is. This is where you pick up your paperwork. As you can see, it is Halloween week here, and they are decorated for the season. They did have several family activities throughout the week, and then they topped it off with a parade, which was really fun. Handed out candy, and we'll show you a little bit of that parade. But I love the way they decorated. You can see the little scarecrows. This is how you get into the park. You have to cross this one-lane bridge. Fun, fun. There's another one-lane bridge here, but it's about the same size, maybe a little longer. I'll show you. So there is the other single lane bridge. As you can see, you have to wait for one person to cross it before you can get across it. And these two bridges are the only way to get into the campground. They do have some pretty nice memorials for co-workers and volunteers, as well as ranger staff from the past that have passed away. They do have some nature trails. I walk them almost daily if I'm not going on a hike at Pinnacles or at the county park. They do warn you throughout here about the poison oak. If it leaves a 3, leave it be. The trails are pretty nice. I've enjoyed them. They have so many cute little features around. I do believe this is hiding an electrical outlet to charge the golf carts. They have a pretty nice miniature golf setup, and it's really cool because each one of the pars has a constellation on it. Okay, you can study the stars. I know Fred and I have really enjoyed sitting outside and enjoying the stars at night. They're pretty clear here. I don't know if you can see here, but that car is having to wait. There's 3 deer in the road. Like I said, you don't go very long at all without seeing some sort of creature, especially the deer. They're very thick here and they're not afraid. We have volleyball with sand. Now, who doesn't like to play volleyball in the sand? Well, beach volleyball. Close. They do offer propane here, and it's pretty easily accessible. They offer it twice a day, but I would check for the times because they are subject to change. So, yeah, we even have shuffleboard here. It's the little house. It's decorated for Halloween, but I'm sure it's cute anytime. They do have a dog park at San Benito. It's called the Bark Park. Cute little decorations. What I like about this park is it's pretty spacious, and I love how they used natural resources of this tree. Like I say, whenever you come out walking, there are a bunch of deer. Just grazing, not minding me. I love these fallen trees. They've just branched off and kept growing. This is where the hog crossing is. Now, I haven't seen too many hogs or pigs, but you can actually see they must come out at night because you can see where they root and play a little bit here. They do have horseshoes here, and it's one of the first places, I know there's probably more, but one of the first places I noticed they actually have a pole for you to keep score. So something to take into consideration here is throughout the park there are notices that say that you are not allowed to dump if you have chemicals in your holding tank. San Benito does have a pool. It closed about October 16th, about a week before we got here, or two. And last week was pretty warm. I could have went swimming, but the nights are pretty cool here. So the kids' playground looks fun. There's usually some kids on it, but this is Monday. It was a pretty busy weekend. I am headed to the clubhouse to check it out, see what they have inside. I know they had a movie night this past weekend. Kind of hoping they have a library there. I am ready to exchange books. So let's go in and see. And outside on the porch, they have a ping pong table. Looks like extra large doors. Lots of room for picnics and outside lighting. Cool checker table. Nice basketball court, little tennis court, hopscotch. There's absolutely tons of things to do here. They do have a general store here. We were in it last week. And those are the hours. So they're actually only open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So this is a big park, and there are several bath facilities throughout the park. Very standard, your sinks, bathroom stalls, showers. But an area to put your makeup on. Yeah, dry your hair, whatever else you want to do. The washing room is a dryer room right behind the propane tank. A nice big folding table area, wash sinks. They have a lot of washer and dryers in here. Looks like they are coin operated only. So bring lots of quarters if you need to wash. $1.50 for the dryers. And the washers are $1.75. They do have one commercial washer. They have several cabins here for your enjoyment. If you don't RV or tent camp, you can rent a cabin. Here's our site. It's pretty roomy. We actually have 2 picnic tables here and a grill. And this old stump that really kind of came in cool for Halloween. It looked really creepy. And converted it into a little pumpkin patch now. What I like about these sites is they're clearly marked. RV site, 50 amp, 30 amp, or tent site. So you don't have to come and lift it to see what it is. Check out the size of these pine cones. Great to collect. Maybe do something for Christmas with them. Of course, there are some of our friends. Like I said, I feel like Snow White. If you don't have squirrels scurrying around your feet, you have birds singing in the sky, flying around you, and deer in the background, and hogs snorting under the brush. This is Pinnacles National Park. There is a $30 entrance fee, but you can use your America the Beautiful Pass if you have one. We are starting this hike in the dark for 2 reasons. First, parking is limited here, so we arrived early, and hopefully we'll catch the sunrise. So make sure you bring a flashlight. We began our hike by entering the Bear Gulch Cave, which is one of the best examples of a tailless cave in the National Park Service. It is also home to the endangered Townsend's big-eared bats. We step into a narrow section of the cave that is covered by collapsed boulders. A few shafts of light slip through the boulder ceiling, but most areas are pitch black. Bear Gulch Creek shares the cave, so we may hear tumbling rocks entering the water that add a rich sound as we pass through the cave. As we exit the cave, we follow the steps with metal railings to reach the sunlight. These were created by the Civil Conservation Corps, also known as the CCC, in the 1930s. Let's continue up across some boulders until we reach the Bear Gulch Reservoir. The reservoir is an important habitat for the red-legged frog, which is a threatened species in California. The reservoir is also one of Pinnacle's most iconic sites. It was completed in 1935 by the CCC to prevent flooding downstream, but is mainly known for its aesthetic value. The reservoir is still a highlight for many visitors and a great place to have a picnic. Look around us. This place is surrounded by pinnacles and rock formations. Just gorgeous. We're continuing the hike up the rim trail in search of a beautiful sunrise and to enjoy these amazing scenes together. It is just spectacular. Moving forward, we begin to climb above the rim trail junction, starting towards the High Peaks Trail. The view from this trail is amazing. Oh wow, here it comes! Let's stop and enjoy the sunrise together as it begins to peak between the mountains. That was amazing. It's time to take a water break and get a selfie by this pinnacle. We are getting closer to the top, but we are not there yet. It is hard not to stop and take in all the beauty of this area. We move a bit further and pass through this really cool tunnel that's carved into the rock and continue up the narrow path. As the path curves its way around the mountain, it takes us to a junction next to Scout Peak. Can you believe this? There's a bathroom all the way up here on the south end of the notorious section of the High Peaks Trail that crosses the backbone of the Pinnacles. Time to head across the peaks together. The trail is steep and narrow for the next mile or so, climbing to a height of about 2,500 feet. I am so glad that there are steps carved into the rocks. Building this trail must have been very difficult. However, I don't think I could have made this hike without the steps and railings. Thank you, CCC. Make sure you watch your step as you climb to the top. Not all the carved steps have railings. Some places are steeper than others, and we need to put our camera away to get to the top. The views from here are stunning, just incredible. The cluster of peaks are the tallest around. Let's take one last look at the panoramic view from the top before we start our descent back down. Heading back down, we see a bridge. We must lean, then duck down to get across this bridge, but it is very stable. But first, take a minute to enjoy the view of the Pinnacles. The views are pretty going down, but just a bit deflating after the spectacular views from the rocky Pinnacles. We eventually reach the Condor Gulch Trail. Next, we stop at an overlook to check out the views. But don't forget to stop by the Condor Gulch Overlook so we can take time to peer off the steep ledge to see if we can see any condors. No luck today. Didn't see a single condor. Moving forward and heading down to the end of the trailhead, where we hike the final quarter mile back to the car, passing through the picnic area. Thank you for coming along on my hike with me today. This has been one of my favorite hikes. Please share with us in the comments below a hike that you really liked.
All right, it's time for the San Benito Preserve Cellular Report. Well, AT&T takes off like a rocket this week with 71.8 down, and Verizon with 11.9 down, and T-Mobile with 6.75. So pull out the AT&T and use it, or go out and play with the animals. There's plenty of them there.